So I'm currently still in the thick of decorating the living room in my new apartment, and today I'm going to start figuring out how to decorate this big ass wall. As I'm sure you know and have probably experienced before yourself, big walls like this are one of the trickiest things to style in any space because it's overwhelming to have this big blank canvas and then start figuring out how to make it look pretty and visually interesting, and then also make it work with everything else in the room. So in this video, I'm going to take you through my process for decorating a big wall and share my tips so that you can apply them the next time you are undergoing this monumental task of big wall decorating. And if you're new here, my name is Steffi, and on this channel, I give small apartment styling tips and cozy living inspiration. So first off, I have a brand new set of wall art that I ordered from Etsy that just came, and I'm about to open that. And this set is going to be my focal point. She's forcing the pets to happen. The pets must happen now. When it comes to decorating a big blank wall, I personally like to establish a focal point first. It's just a good place to start because once you have your focal point established, everything kind of falls into place a little bit more easily. I like to think of focal point as like the center of a galaxy, and then all of the other pieces of decor are the stars that rotate around it. Like everything else is determined by the focal point. It's like the backbone of your styling. So many metaphors. Basically what I'm saying is if you choose a focal point up front, then that makes it so that you don't really have to deal with the blank canvas syndrome as much because everything else kind of falls into place more easily when you establish a focal point. So my Etsy art pieces that I'm about to open up, at least I'm planning on them being the focal point. So now I am going to open up this new Etsy art, I haven't seen it yet, and start decorating this wall. So first of all, loving them. They're so like groovy, flower power, boho vibes. Definitely love the 70s feel they're giving. Obviously, each of these are very similar to each other, and they're even similar to my decorative pillows. I mean, it's all tying together very clearly, very obviously, I would say, to the point of maybe being a little matchy, but I'm a sucker for matchy decor. I personally don't shy away from decor that feels super cohesive, to the point of maybe some people might consider it matchy, but regardless, it creates a cohesive look, and that is usually one of my big priorities when I'm styling. I just personally get like a little thrill out of a very matchy, cohesive room. So I've hung up the first one, and I can already tell I'm gonna have to redo it because it's just ever so slightly crooked. And I also feel like it needs to come down a little bit in relation to the height of this console table. But that is giving me pause because I'm considering putting this console table in this position. So I'm gonna leave this one hanging for now and see if I want to use this console table instead of this one. Then I can decide the proper height. By the way, these are, I talked about this in my last video. These are what I use to hang my wall art. They're just little command strips. They make my life so much easier. Highly recommend them. Again, I know I mentioned them in my last video, but in case you missed that one, these are what you want to use. You just stick them on the back of the art you're about to hang and they stick to the wall. So no hole drilling necessary. They're awesome. Okay, so I'm into this. Obviously, it's very small for such a big wall, but so is this console table. So it just reaffirms my thought that something needs to go over there, because it's gonna be hard to find any piece that's gonna be long enough to really make sense for this big of a wall. So that's when you want to create sort of different zones or little separate visual motifs. So I'm going to kind of embrace the idea of using a console table that is quite small for the wall, whether it's this one or this one. Start decorating, start styling the console table, and then figure out what needs to happen over in this zone. And now it's all the more obvious that I do need to bring this down a bit. A common mistake that a lot of people make is hanging wall art too high. And I feel like that's definitely what's happening here. It needs to come down a little bit so that it's part of the visual story of the console table. Again, whether it's this one or this one. I'm just feeling this one because I love the sort of goth vibes that it's giving. It kind of reminds me of like a sort of Abigail Ahern moment. Abigail Ahern, by the way, if you haven't heard of her, you should definitely check out her Instagram. She's a designer who's known for like maximalism, dark decor vibes. This is kind of giving me Abigail Ahern vibes. So whether or not I keep this console table here, for now, I want to lean into it and then see what happens. So it's actually the next day, and I just got back from World Market where I bought some new decor for this wall. So now using this new decor from World Market that I just got in combination possibly with some existing decor that I have. Say hello to Hilo. Oh, say hello to Hilo's butthole. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to say butthole on my channel, and it's happened. It's actually happened. So using this new decor, possibly in combination with some of my existing decor, I am going to start decorating this wall and hopefully filling up some of the space and making it so that this console table isn't so dwarfed and isn't so sparse and lonely. It needs some friends, some pretty little friends. By the way, I know this is looking so shitty right now. Honestly, I don't want to talk about it. I've tried cleaning this off. It's, it won't come up. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. But for now, I am just living with this. Let's pretend it's not here. Right, Hilo? So here's what I'm struggling with right now, and what I'm trying to figure out is I feel like there needs to be some sort of central visual feature on the console table, and I don't know what that is yet. And I'm gonna move on to the next thing. I'm gonna let this sort of sit for a bit, and I'll figure it out later. But I feel like this is a pretty good start so far. The idea here is layering, creating a sense of depth. So it's not like a flat visual. Like, we want things to feel like three-dimensional, and we want to feel texture, which pampas grass is perfect for that. You see what I mean? It's like it's creating a sense of dimension. I'm not there yet, but that's what I'm striving for. So I guess my tip for this is to layer things to create a sense of depth and dimension. And then another tip is to play with height. So we have sort of a zigzag effect happening here. You know what I mean? We have the height of the pampas grass, and then the height of the top of the wall art. And then we come down to this floral, and then we go up and we go down. Do you see what I mean? Like, we're playing with height. So as much variety of height that you can work in, the more visually interesting it's gonna be. And it's especially important for a big wall like this. There's so much real estate. There's so much of like an empty void to fill, that the more you can play with height and dimension with layering, the better it's gonna look. There is one more thing, and that is this faux plant, or I guess a faux tree in this case. It's a faux eucalyptus tree, and I got this little planter for it, which I think was a good choice because it's gonna give it some height, and we want height. This piece of wall is very empty, so we want to fill it. So I'm going to put the tree there. All right, I mean, I feel like that does the trick. Now we don't have to worry about a big gaping piece of wall right there. This faux eucalyptus adds a nice pop of green and also a lushness that I really love. But yeah, this is, ooh, look at how the light is hitting that amber glass. How pretty is that? Oh my God, I'm such a sucker for amber glass. Anyway, I'm calling it a night. This is definitely not done. Don't think it's done yet. I still have more tweaks to do. I don't know what they are yet, but more is gonna happen. But for now, I need to chill. I think it's safe to say that version 1 of this big ass wall is complete. And I say version 1 because I'm gonna keep tweaking. I'm gonna keep making little changes here and there. This is not the final result, but I feel like it's a good place to call it a nice first draft. So let me show you what I've done, why I did it, and hopefully experiencing this whole styling process through my eyes will help you the next time you are decorating a big ass wall of your own. Now, let me walk you through real quick what I did here. First of all, you'll notice the pampas grass is in a sad, dark little corner right now because ultimately I actually decided that having the pampas grass right there, it wasn't working. The idea was I wanted the pampas grass to sort of fill this empty space and create texture and dimension, but ultimately what it ended up looking like was it looked like things were just in a row. Here, I'll show you. See what I mean? Like it feels like faux plant, faux plant, faux plant, just a row of them. And it just, anytime you're creating just like a straight line of something, it doesn't really look thought out and intentional. So it's just not working. I do feel like something needs to fill the space here. Not that you can't have empty open space, but I do feel like something's missing. Let me know in the comments, what do you think could go here? But yeah, I am very excited about this faux eucalyptus tree. It will never die. It is a vampire plant. And then when it comes to the actual styling of the console table, I'm keeping it kind of simple. It's a mix of the new World Market decor with decor that I already had. Love this vase from World Market. I obviously have a thing for amber glass. This I got at Target a while ago. It's kind of filling that need that I mentioned yesterday where I felt like there needed to be just something sort of centering everything. And I feel like for now, this is a good solution. It's kind of subtle, kind of low profile, and is giving like a cool kind of antique feel. Then we have the candlestick holders, which I'm really excited about. I love the negative space that they're creating, and it feels kind of, sophisticated and cool, And then we have this IKEA lamp that I got a while ago. I wanted just a little pop of light right here, and it adds a little bit of a sparkle, a little bit of glitz, I'm all for sparkle all the time. So there you have it. That is version 1 of this big wall in my living room. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think version 2 should have? What do you think I should add? Because it's definitely not done. Like I said, I'm gonna keep iterating here. So what would you add to this wall? Let me know below. And remember, your apartment is destined to be pretty, and you are pretty powerful.